It's time for those late morning legends, Rose and Ben. 168 years of wins and losses, ups and downs, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Unplugged and unhinged, here they are, Rose and Ben.
Good morning, everybody. A beautiful day in Alva, Oklahoma, as the Juneteenth of harvest. A wonderful day. The combines are firing up again, and they'll probably cut around a few mud holes, but I believe we're ready to go again. It is the Rosie and Ben Radio Roundup, the latest and most mature morning show in the entire free world. Rosie and Ben fall down 7 times, get up 8. The thrill of victory, the agony of defeat. Rosie?
Good morning, Ben.
Thorns and all, how are you?
I'm great. It's a great day to be alive in Alva, Oklahoma, and I'm glad to be here. We have some exciting guests.
We always have exciting guests,
That
Rosie.
we do.
We always have exciting guests.
They're going to tell us all the good things that are coming up next week.
About the time, when lots of times when we get done, we say to ourselves, well, that's the best show we've ever done.
You know, that's right.
And then 1 week later, we say that again. So we'll get ready to say it once. We have some fine people in the house.
Yes.
Jesse's here, Melissa's here, and Joe's here, and we'll put some last names on those. Let's start with Joe because he just had a baby. Hand the microphone to Joe.
I will.
Joe Parsons comes in as the guy that does the morning show on Mondays, but that's not why he's here, because it's not Monday at all. He's here because he's a city councilman, and Alva has just had a baby, a wonderful baby that you're going to put on display. When is it? Saturday?
Yes, Saturday. Grand opening of the new swimming pool. A lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of effort's gone into this project. Something we're really proud of. Alva's been without a swimming pool for, I believe, we're over 5 years now. And the swimming pool project all got started 5-6 years ago. Whenever there was not it didn't get approved by the health department to reopen, and in the swimming pool that was originally a WPA project had some major issues that were not fixable. They went out for what's called a general obligation bond to fund a new pool. That bond failed, and kind of the decision there was we got to find a better way to get a new pool, and it's taken several years, but we've accomplished it. We could not do it without the amazing donors that we have, and the people have spent a ton of time to make this happen. Whenever I talk to other city leaders across the state, and I tell them about this project, I tell them that we were able to accomplish a $6 million aquatic facility without adding any burden to the taxpayers of Alva. They are always amazed by that. So that really is a testament to how generous and how amazing Alva is as a community, and how fortunate we are all to live here.
About a year ago, Joe, you showed me this mock-up of the way the pool lays in and the features of it and stuff, and allowed me to keep the pictures of it. It's got to be a feeling. I mean, I joked about you having a baby, but it has to. I mean, there's a great deal of pride in this because this baby took some doing.
Yes. And I want to give some shout outs here, because as a city council member, yes, I've spent some time on it, but the real people that you need to tell thank you that are more behind the scenes are Courtney Nesarella. She is our Parks and Rec director out at the Rec Center, has also taken on the swimming pool. We want to thank her. And then Krista Lee, she helps her. And they are both going to be managing the pool. And really, those ladies have done a phenomenal job making sure to get the pool open. We have a wonderful swimming pool advisory committee that's put a ton of time in. Want to thank them. I know Dr. Kay Decker has worked a lot with the grants and getting the pool where it can still honor the historical WPA pool. Although that pool was not able to be saved, we were able to save the bathhouse, so it is still a historic place, and that's something we're very proud of. And then also the city's grant writer, Stephanie Wydick, she's put a ton of time into this as well, and We've been able to achieve a $6 million project without using a significant amount of taxpayer funds, and that's something that I talk about all the time because that is truly not a normal thing in municipalities. Whenever $1 million projects are done, there's always normally a tax to go along with it. This project was able to be completed without any additional tax, and that's absolutely amazing for our taxpayers to have this thing that's going to increase the quality of life for our citizens, and really at no cost to them.
It's incredible, and it's an incredible layout, a beautiful thing. Now, is Saturday like a grand opening? I mean,
yes, it is a grand opening. The prices to get in are children $3, adults $5, and senior citizens $2. But Bankit, which is a local nonprofit where all the banks work together with the board of people to raise funds for different causes, have donated enough funds to cover the first 1,000 kids into the swimming pool. So we're not sure how long that's going to last, but the first 1,000 kids that want to swim are paid for by Bankit. That's something we're really excited about. And then also, if you come, it closes at 6, but if you do go to the pool after 5 o'clock, you show up at 5:01. It doesn't cost you anything to get in, which is kind of cool. That gives people the opportunity to swim that may not be able to afford it.
Sure. Yeah. And people like, for instance, Rosie and me, it doesn't take us very long to get a day's worth of exercise. We get there about 5:30, leave about 5:45. We'll be pretty good shape.
Yeah. No, I think Rosie's quite the swimmer, isn't she?
Yes, I was being, I was sticking it to Rosie a little bit because she sticks it back. This woman gets up in the morning and goes to the pool at the wellness center. It makes me tired when she tells me all the stuff that she does in a day,
Yeah.
I don't know. At 90 years old,
you have to keep telling her age. I mean, if you wouldn't say that every other minute, I would not guess she was a day over 75.
Exactly. Yeah.
Here,
Yeah,
I'm gonna hand the mic back to her and let her,
Hey, Joe,
give you a little bit of a hard time. Okay, one more question.
I want to say one more thing to you. Now, switch your hat. And Jesse Klein, we have one of the most famous sign holders in the world. Jesse Klein. Jesse Klein says I was an easel in a previous life. He's holding up the pictures of the new pool so all of us here can take a look at this. It's a huge. I mean, it's a big sucker.
It is a big pool.
Yeah, and it's got bunches of stuff other than water. I mean, the slides and all the funsy stuff. Now, switch to. You're still with the city guy, but tomorrow you'll be doing this at Eggs and this being the microphones and stuff at Eggs and Issues at the Northwest Tech Center. Darren Slater and his group welcome you in there, and that's at 8 o'clock, I think.
Yes, 8 a.m. at the Tech Center. The Chamber of Commerce, it's like a community coffee, but they call it Eggs and Issues. Normally, Carl Newton and Casey Murdoch are there for that, and they will be there to talk a little bit about the legislature session and just answer questions. We recommend you guys come out and ask your questions. It should be broadcasted on the KLV Facebook page and to the radio if you're not able to make it there.
And YouTube. Don't forget YouTube.
And YouTube. Mm-hmm. So it's always a good event. Get to get updated on what's going on the state level, and then also more on the local level with normally the mayor being there and giving an update on what's going on in Alva.
Good deal, Joe. We appreciate you doing it. You can hear Joe on the Morning Joe Show, 7 o'clock on Monday mornings. Thank you, sir. If you'll pass the microphone to the lady next to you. Her name is Melissa. Melissa, how do I say your last name?
Robel.
Robel. And today you represent the Little Red Hens.
That's right. So the Little Red Hens, if you're not familiar with, is a women's focused organization to give back to the community. We're a nonprofit. We put on specific events like the Elementary Fall Festival, and we also do a scholarship with the Tea Party, giving a $1,000 scholarship to a local Alva High School senior just to pursue more education. And so we just try to give back as much as we can. But today I'm going to talk about the 4th of July. And so definitely if you want to come out and see this free event, we put on this daytime 4th of July at Hatfield Park. We'll start at 9 a.m. with games. We'll have a sack race, water balloon toss, softball throw, and it's all free that day. And you can win free prizes. And then we will also have a cornhole tournament. Registration starts at 9:30, and we'll start tossing at 10 a.m., and that's for adults. And don't forget the inflatables. Nam and Pops will be there, and that will be all free from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. So thank you so much to them for coming on out. There will also be train rides provided by the Corps, and thank you to them for coming and helping support the event. And then after all that, you're probably hungry.
Really hungry.
And so we have a free lunch with hot dogs, chips, drinks, starting at 11:30. We're cooking.
The Red Hen.
You're cooking, the Little Red Hens cook?
Yeah, we'll cook
that
all the
makes
hot
sense.
dogs. So not chickens, so we'll be good.
We eat no chicken at the Little Red Hens event.
I like that.
So, Melissa, I can't help it. You probably have thought in your mind, these people have a bit of an accent. So we would be thinking, she has, it sounds like maybe Wisconsin. Where is your home? Well, I guess your home's here now.
Yeah, I've lived here for about 4 years, so it's
Is that a long time for you?
It is, actually. So
Where
I've been
did you-
moving around, so just for different jobs and stuff like that. But I'm actually from California, and I know people don't always like California, so
Oh, there's nothing wrong with California. The actual state and the setting of it, it's beautiful.
usually I say California, and then everyone's like, oh, you're one of those.
All of my friends, not all of them, several of my friends in California are in agriculture, and when they have this conversation, they always end up saying, "That's not us. We're out here. That's them in Los Angeles. You take it up with them in San Francisco. That's not us." So, where in California did you begin?
Yeah, so I'm from Cupertino, and my party trick, if you guys have a iPhone or something like that, there's always, if you look to your clocks, Cupertino time, because Apple is actually founded there. So it's about an hour south of San Francisco, and so it's all big tech and stuff like that. So not agriculture, not the redwoods, not LA.
But still kind of pretty.
It is cool. It's a good place. Pretty expensive to live right now.
Yeah. Did you go to school there?
I did.
And then where?
Then I went to Oregon State University and studied fisheries and wildlife, and from there just move around in cool nature areas, and then I got to Alva, Oklahoma.
Wait a minute. You're doing fish and wildlife in Alva?
Not quite in Alva, but pretty close at Salt Plains National Wildlife Refuge.
Oh. Well, this is the day of the Little Red Hens, but would you come back sometime with Rosie and I, and we want to talk about the Great Salt Plains. When Jody does chamber chats with me at noon on Mondays, and she goes around this part of the country verbally of the wonderful things we have, the Little Sahara, Alabaster Cavern, so on and so forth. She does a few good minutes on the Great Salt Plains. It's now right now is the digging time, right?
Yeah, if you want to dig for free selenite crystals, definitely check us out. Can be a little bit hot right now, so you want to get out there early.
Right. Yeah, don't be digging selenite crystals at 3 p.m.
Are
Don't
the
do it.
pelicans here yet?
The American white pelicans are here. You can see them right on the lake there, and hundreds of them just kind of swimming all together, all graceful.
Oh, cool. I've got to go over there and see those.
Where's theirs stop before here? They're coming through here, right?
Yeah, they migrate through. So I forget where they end up, but I'll double check for you.
Well, we know the swans in Capistrano. We got that one. We can sing that one, but I'm unfamiliar with the where the pelicans have come from. So we'll probably need that for Rosie. Does a lot of trivia. We'll probably need that for Rosie's trivia.
Okay. Well, I used to do wildlife trivia, so we'll see. I might be able to stump her.
Oh, wow. Wildlife trivia. An absolute must for every party in Northwest Oklahoma is wildlife trivia. Now, the Little Red Hens have this special event coming up, and you talked about it a little bit, but put a wrap on it, will you?
Yeah, so definitely come on out for 4th of July, the daytime festivities at Hatfield Park. It's all free. We'll have games, inflatables, a train, free lunch as well.
Oh,
And so you definitely don't want to miss that. And then you can stay and check out the pool and then the fireworks there later that night. If you're interested in maybe being involved with the Little Red Hens in the future, our next meeting is July 15th at 6:30 at Cancun. So anyone's welcome. If you just want to give back to the community, we would love for you to join.
We're looking forward to that 4th of July celebration, and you guys cooking those
no chicken.
no chickens.
It's a no chicken
And,
feed by the Little Red Hens. Melissa, it is wonderful to get to meet you, and thank you for representing the Little Red Hens. Pretty good sized organization, 60 or 70 folks, I guess, and hens, right? So like Jesse and I could not be little red roosters.
Well, you can, we always take the help, so.
Oh, you take us as volunteers, right? Stack those tables, bring those chairs over, you
We
little
won't
roosters.
say no,
You.
so you can always come too.
All right. Melissa, thank you. We're going to pause for just a minute, pay a bill or two, and we'll be right back with Rosie and Ben, the Radio Rodeo, in just a moment.
It's Rose and Ben on KALV.
Alva State Bank and Trust Company, older than Oklahoma, big enough to serve you and small enough to know you.
We love to give back to our customers. Did you know Alva State Bank offers a great rewards checking account program? That's right. You can earn cash back or high interest with our Kasasa accounts. We will even refund you up to $25 in ATM fees.
How do I qualify?
It's simple. Just swipe your debit card 12 times, sign up for online statements, and have one ACH credit or debit post to your account.
Can I do it online?
Yes. Just visit our website at www.alvastatebank.com to see if our Kasasa Rewards program is right for you. We make banking easy. Whether you're at home, the office, or in your car, our online or mobile banking options help you juggle busy schedules and financial needs.
We plant roots where others have branches.
Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
This is Rose and Ben on KALV.
So many things going on coming to the 4th of July. Can you believe it's almost the 4th of July? I mean,
No.
Christmas will
can't.
be in 2 weeks.
When I taught school and the 4th of July got here, it almost made me sick because it'd be time to go back to school before we knew it.
But weren't you one of those that loved to go back to school?
Oh, of course. I just kind of misrepresented that statement. I was always just really ready.
So another big thing that's coming up is on July 4th, Independence Day celebration. Winoka's doing it. They have a free pool also. A new pool also, and they have a free swim from 1 to 5. And then they'll be downtown. It's a presentation of Winoka Main Street, so it's down on Main Street. Be cooking hot dogs and stuff like that. All kinds of games downtown, prizes for people of actually kids of all ages. Be playing games until the fireworks at dark. And yesterday, I think, was the longest day of the year, or the day before, I'm not sure. But we're in summer now, so it's not going to get dark till what, 9:30?
9:30.
9:45, like that. So big fireworks then. All that sponsored by the Winoka Rodeo Club, Clean Harbors, City of Winoka, Winoka Firefighters, and as Melissa and you have alluded to, volunteers. Yeah. Any organization that you're in, Jesse and Joe were joking about rodeo, a Rotary, and we were joking about different organizations we've been in, the Little Red Hens and so on. I have a friend that says service work in your favorite organization reminds him of college football. 22 people on the field, dirty, sweaty, working hard, desperately needing rest. 1,000 people standing around criticizing, desperately needing exercise.
I was wondering where you were going to go with that.
That's where I went. Who's your guest, girl? Who's your guest? Looks like you know this guy.
I kind of might even be a little related. This is one of the Klein boys here in Alva, and this is Jesse Klein. He's been shooting fireworks for a long time, and
close to 15 years.
Oh my goodness!
How long, Jesse?
I think it's getting close to 15 years. Rotary has always, since I've been back in Alva, has always had the 4th of July. I know before that, I think it was the JCs, an organization that's not around anymore. But
they're not? I didn't know that.
Let me put it this way. I don't think they're in the same capacity that they were. But basically, Norval Ritter, Dr. Larry Smith, a bunch of guys had taken over that project, did the 4th of July up through about, I'm going to go 2008, 2009, and then they announced that they were retiring. And I called my brother one day and I said, do you want to blow up things for the 4th of July for the next, few years? And then that started our group. And so Rotary kept it. It's evolved in a lot of different forms. It's gone through ups and downs, and that's where it's at. But I technically have probably had some type of a pyro license for about 12 or 15 years now. So.
And you have to be licensed to do that.
They changed that after so many years, but yes, now the Oklahoma Fire Marshal's office has a list of people who are outdoor display operators, and that just means that they can do fireworks display shows for whatever purpose. It could be small or otherwise, but it involves a level of explosives that is regulated by the government. So they came up with the list. Alva originally had, we probably had 4 guys. We're down to 3, and we're going to be down to maybe less than that here pretty soon as some of the rest of us are looking to retire. But there's hope. Joe was here a minute ago, and I think Joe might be the new level or new wave of operators, licensed operators around here. So we look forward to working with Joe in the next couple weeks and some other things, and go from there. My crew's kind of getting. We're not necessarily old, but we're getting tired. If you give up every 4th of July I think I may be the only one that has a consecutive streak that hasn't been broken, but everyone else has been able to take off a year and go do something with family or whatever, and I didn't do that. So I'm ready for my break, and my break's coming soon, but not yet, not this year. So
why don't you take 1 year off and then do another straight 15?
Yeah, I mean that sounds like there's a lot of fun. It really sometimes it's a lot of work, sometimes it's a lot of fun. It's normally both.
And it's always hot.
Actually, it's been weird the last few years. The 4th of July hasn't been the 110 degree, 105 degree. We've probably, since COVID, I would say we've had 4 of the best years that just were 80, 90 degrees.
Oh, wow.
So much better. And we there's a lot of effort that goes into it several nights beforehand, but the day of is really the big show because you can't just leave. You can't start setting up 2 days early. You'd be leaving explosives out there where anybody could, get it. So we have to do everything the day of and get it done. And that's a pretty tough day. And if it's 110 degrees, we have tents, we have things that we can do. We can try to manage it. The more people you have, the better off. But those numbers dwindle. It's gotten harder and harder. But luckily, the last few years, we've survived by having much better weather. Great nights, not a lot of wind. I'm not saying the weather's completely changed around here, but for the last few years, we have not had the kind of extremities that we had back in the early 2000 or the teens, and that there were some years that it was 110 degrees.
I'm curious. Do you go down to the store and buy these fireworks? How do you go about buying the fireworks?
So that's a good question. There are several local companies. There's one in Enid or just out or Carrier, Oklahoma, that provides fireworks for, I think, the Oklahoma City Thunder. They do the indoor stuff. They do the outdoor stuff. We work with a company presently out of Inman, Kansas, which I believe is just outside of Hutchinson up there. Very nice little community, mom and pop business that's grown over the years. We get our fireworks from them. They put on a lot of the training, a lot of the shows, or they hire people to do shows all over the world or all over the United States. We get asked by them to kind of go help at other places that they need help. But they provide the fireworks. They buy them from China. They make some of their own. They buy stuff from America as well too. But they put a collection of stuff together and they package that to us and go.
They make some of their own.
Yeah, there are companies here in the United States and that can assemble certain shells, certain fireworks that are mass production wise. It primarily comes from China, but Western firework or Western.
Yeah.
In Carrier, they have they make some of their own fireworks. I believe that some of the other companies have the capability of doing that and doing some things. But yes, there are fireworks that are still made in the United States. It's just the bulk stuff that you see is primarily coming from China. They come across on boats and cargo stuff and go from there. But some pyrotechnic stuff is made in the United States and used. And it's more specialty stuff that's designed for things. Like when you see indoor fireworks, I mean, and we know Ben was at, he did a bunch of announcing for years. I'm sure there was some inside pyrotechnics that was done at some of the games that you used to call.
Most every hockey game, yeah.
Exactly. So that kind of stuff a lot of time gets made in the United States, used locally by some of the companies that do that stuff. A lot of what you see for the big display shows for July 4th, et cetera, those come mass produced from China, come over and come from there. A lot of the people that buy and import that stuff, they actually travel to China, go to the places where they're made, develop that connection with them, and go from there.
What makes them so expensive?
Well, the question was, what makes them so expensive?
So, I don't know. I mean, other than the fact it's a dangerous thing to do. And then when we talk about importing, I don't want to get into any politics today, but I mean, tariff stuff obviously has a big impact of that. If anybody's watched any of the tourism committee meetings that I've gone to and talked, and I've asked for money for the 4th of July, et cetera, there's been a standard kind of just natural inflation in the price of it. It's gone. Now, interestingly enough, for the last few years, it hasn't. There haven't been these major increases, and we didn't see any this year. And I think a lot of the American importers bought a bunch and was prepared for this year. But COVID, actually, a lot of people canceled their shows, didn't have outdoor displays. So instead of product just going regularly through, everyone got backed up for a year and had a whole bunch of product on hand. So then it it's helped stabilize the price a little bit. It's really been kind of interesting. It's not my business. That's just what they tell me. They could be, just filling me full of it. But I know that that's what we've seen over the years. It's expensive. And I don't go ahead. What
are you going to spend for us this year?
So
That's a heck of a question.
Well, we spend anywhere, and we're pretty honest about it because obviously we go in front of the tourism committee and do that. I got asked to do
that is a heck of a question.
I got asked to go do a show next weekend in Medford, and I'm not going to end up doing it. I did it a few years ago. I got to the point where I was doing shows all over the place. Medford does their 4th of July celebration 1 week before the 4th of July. So on Friday the 28th or whatever day that's going to be, Medford's going to have it. They're only going to spend about $3,000, maybe $3,500, and almost a lot of that's just going to be the people that set it up and fire it. So they're maybe getting $2,000, $2,500 worth of, let's call it product, the stuff that just blows up. Alva spends $12,000, $15,000. It just depends. We've had bigger shows, we've had smaller shows. There's been a lot of investment in the equipment that we use to fire the stuff off. So over the years, it might have averaged out where it's probably averaged about $15,000 a year. But each one of those years, there's been some money that's gone back into equipment. We have, I mean, gosh, it's not even high tech anymore, but we had what we consider to be really high tech firing equipment, very safe, wireless. Nobody has to be around it. There's no guys running around with flares in our world. We punch buttons on a computer and things blow up and go from there. And it's really nice and it's very safe. We've had limited, problems, not really anything ever bad safety wise, but I mean, things blow up when they're not supposed to. Things don't go up in the air like they're supposed to, but even the equipment that we have has made it to where we've been protected from all of that. If something blows up inside the tube that you're shooting out of, nobody's around it. And that's the nice thing. But if you got guys that are lighting stuff with flares, that's not as safe of a deal. So we have a very safe, technology-wise, we're pretty savvy, and we've had this stuff for a long time and can't do anything but thank tourism, the city of Alva, Rotary, the people that have donated and stuff, because we have a great set of equipment to hand to the next person, or if we keep doing it or whatever, but we have a great infrastructure set up to do it. It's just, as I always say, the most expensive hobby in the world, because we had 30 minutes or 20 minutes, we blow up $12,000 worth of stuff, and that's kind of expensive.
Be sure and tell us where it's going to be this year.
Well, we've moved. It was kind of funny. Since we talked about the pool, I'm going to tie that in for a little bit.
Please do.
When I first started, we fired at Northwestern's football stadium. Mm-hmm. There was a grass field there. Wasn't ever a problem. When they put turf in about 10 or 12 years ago, maybe a little bit longer, the idea was they didn't really like us blowing up fireworks there, so because it might go down and damage the turf, incendiary things, whatever. So we went to the park. Prior to the Little Red Hens, another little segue into your guest today.
There you go.
Rotary had set it up where we were doing full-time, full-day activities. Everything was based around the pool, the park, the fireworks, everything. I wanted you to come one place and not leave. Mm-hmm. Until the day was over with. And that's really difficult to do. But the second you lose people to driving around or you move to a different event or whatever, you start losing people. So we did that for so many years. Then the pool closed. COVID happened, a lot of things. So then we've gone out to the rec park. And the rec park is probably the best location to do fireworks. You have a big open sky. I consider it a canvas. I mean, you really paint the sky. You're throwing fireworks up there and trying to do it. The park had a very small little window. People would come in and sit in certain areas and you could see stuff. We want people around town to be able to see it. The rec park is great, has been great for the last 5 years, but the first time it's 110 degrees and there's a 30-mile-an-hour south wind, it's going to be the worst place in the world to watch fireworks. But we've been really lucky to this point. So we go out to the rec park now. It's 10 o'clock basically on the 4th of July. We've had to redesign it after the Metcalf family did the track that's out there. That used to be where we would shoot our fireworks right off a Thunderbird or whatever there. Now we've moved more interior. We surround the building with our stuff on the rocks and the pavement there, and then make everybody park everywhere around. Go to the Votech parking lot. Go to the Woods County Fairground parking lot. Come in and find one of the parking areas around at the rec center itself. All of those are great viewing. You don't have to be oriented in one direction, north, south, east, or west. You can see a great show, but that's where we have it right now.
We're going to pause for just about a minute. Jesse Klein is our guest talking about blowing things up. Come back and join us on the Rosie and Ben Radio Roundup. Fall down 7 times, get up 8 radio show. We'll be back.
It's Rose and Ben on KALV. Let's talk about your future. Are you looking for a career change or possibly training in computers, health careers, automotive, cosmetology, digital design, electrical trades, welding, or biomedical sciences? At Northwest Technology Center, we offer these programs for adults, high school, and homeschool students from Alene Clio, Alva, Canton, Cherokee, Fairview, Freedom, Ringwood, and Winoka. Call to enroll today at 580-327-0344 in Alva or 580-227-3708 in Fairview. Northwest Technology Center is preparing students for success in education, careers, and life. This is Rose and Ben on KALV.
Rosie and Ben on the radio. We're talking 4th of July and stuff like that. I'm going to come back with Jesse Klein. Rosie and I are in just a moment, and we have questions ready for him. But we're going to interrupt this just a moment and check outside to our harvest lady. You're getting ready to listen to Sage do her report, as she does each day, at noon today. So she's preparing somewhere. Now, the last time you and I talked, Sage, we were in your combine. You're not cutting wheat today yet, are you? Hang on, Sage. We're repunching. Did you hear my question? Are you going to cut wheat today? Okay. We're going to try one more time, just because I bet it's connected to my pickup. We're going through my phone. There we go. Sage, none of this is your fault. Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. So the last time we talked, it was in the cab of your combine. That's been interrupted a little bit. A bunch of rain, kind of a bunch of rain. Can you cut today? What are we doing?
We have received, yes, rain, unfortunately, but I'm hoping that this afternoon the sun will keep shining, the wind will start blowing, and we can get the combines back in the field this afternoon and finish up our cutting for our 2025 wheat harvest.
Sage, you're the only person in Northwest Oklahoma that's wishing for wind, and you're going to get your wish, I think. I was listening to all of the meteorologists last night congratulate each other on the various channels for because they stayed up a few hours and did extra duty with the storms coming through. It was like they had fended off a major invasion, but that's kind of another story. Wind is good for where you are. We're going to have a little wind tomorrow. Are you halfway through harvest? It looks like in driving around the fields, not that I just drive around and look at fields, but I do drive a lot. It looks like people are maybe half done, something like that. Is that what you think, or where?
So I would say that my family, we're probably 5 or 6 days from being done. I talked to some farmers yesterday that said they're still 7 or 8 days from being done. And so I'm just hoping that the sun will keep shining to dry out the fields and the mud holes so that these farmers are able to get in the fields and cut the wheat and still be able to make a profit off the land. I did mention that wind is good, and I only say that because it helps just dry out the heads of
Sure.
the wheat and also some of the land. But also too much wind can be a downfall because the wheat is so ripe right now that too much wind can just easily knock the grain right out of the heads. And so, there's got to be, I know that it's hard to reach that perfect middle, but that's kind of what we need as far as the wind and the sunshine so that we can continue to cut our wheat.
Well, the whole thing, I mean, you guys roll dice every day. It's amazing. I was watching some of the totals last night. This is the third wettest June on record, and one of them was in the 1800s. I don't know when the other one was, but I mean, we've had 22 inches of rain. It is so good that wheat is bred as tough as it is now, so it doesn't get knocked out of the head easily by rain, but it can't stay in there forever. I mean, you got to go get it, right?
That's right. And, it'll start to seed out, or it'll start to mold up, or, if you don't get the wheat cut in time, then you're going to have all these factors that are going to start happening that's going to make it impossible to cut the wheat at all. And so, we have received a lot of rain. Those were some good facts that you put out. I wasn't even aware of those, but it feels like there's not even rain in the forecast, and you look up and there'll be storm clouds that are building up, and the next night it rains.
Right.
And so I don't even think the weatherman knows. I think you could put rain every single night on the forecast and you would be pretty accurate.
Exactly.
So I'm just hoping that maybe it'll slow up here within the next week, and so we can finish cutting our wheat. We've not bought a ton of mud at the beginning of the harvest, but man, these last 3 days or so, it's like you can't even enter a field without making tracks, and it just feels so soft. You can just kind of feel the combine sinking in the ground a little bit, and you're like, oh, that doesn't seem right. And so I'm just hoping that the rain will slow up so that we can finish cutting our wheat. And I know that all the other farmers in Northwest Oklahoma agree with me.
Well, keep smiling to Daddy Chad and Grandpa Terry as you walk by them and out in the wheat field doing the things that you do. Because they're still rolling the dice. They've got another half of the game to play or something like that, right? And the stress is there always, but they smile pretty good, pretty readily. They're pretty level guys.
They do, yeah. And I think that, all the times that you've came out, you've probably seen every single emotion and just way of feeling.
Well, I haven't seen either one of them cry. Right? So other than that, yeah, they've pretty much run the gamut. Sage, get your report ready for noon. Farm Girl, 7th generation farm girl. Thanks for joining us on Rosie and Ben, and I'll be out and ride with you. So take care.
Sounds good. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Back to Jesse Klein from the magic of the of the John Deere, the cab of the John Deere combine, to blowing things up. Jesse, I got a question for you.
Gotcha.
You've been doing this for nigh on to 20 years, certified 15 years. You got a story that's kind of tops the rest of them?
I'm going to try to tell this, and I don't want to. If my buddies are listening, you'll understand why, and it ties in well with everything that you had. I don't know how you made your program today, but what's the name of the pool in Alva? The Corey Washburn.
The Corey Washburn.
There we go. The family memorial pool. So Corey was a very good friend of mine, and he was also one of our pyros.
Okay.
And so we spent a lot of time together doing this stuff. There's great photos of us back in the day with the old equipment, the new equipment that came in. It was all really neat to the process. Corey was one of those that had the year break. He managed to get it. He took a couple 4th of Julys off when I didn't get to. Probably traveled someplace really nice. Had some kids, things like that were involved in that process. But Corey passed in 2017, and so probably one of our favorite shows that we ever did was one of the ones in the park, either 2018 or 2019. I actually can't remember right off the top, but we bought some extra products, some different material. They're things that they make signs out of, and they light them up. Like if they make you see an American flag, for example, that's made out of some different things that just burn, and they burn in colors. But we had an opportunity to make something, and we made a big W for Wash. Oh. And so we had that down in the park. The people that were there, it was a really special show for us because we still miss Corey to this day. I'm not saying that we would ever fire a firework when you're not supposed to or someplace else, but every once in a while it might be Corey's birthday. and we might just fire something off.
Just fire something off.
Because we know how to take care of that stuff and do it safely. But it was just kind of a reminder to us. He had a lot of friends. He was a great young man and a great father, and we miss him. And I'm glad to see that his name is going to be immortalized on the pool, which is a great project. But it's also part of our stuff as well. And to me, it meant a lot to us that he was one of the founding 5 or 6 guys that were in that group. We've had a lot of guys over the year. The mayor, Kelly Parker, is one of the founding members of the group. My brother Scott, an old Alva city council, city mover shaker, a guy named Wes Miller that left here and went to Colorado, was one of my guys. Corey was there. Shane, Blake Brown, all these guys have helped over the years and did it, but the little core group was kind of it. And there was originally 4 licensed guys, and Corey was the 4th. So we miss him, and that show is probably by far one of my favorites, just because it allowed for us to kind of say thank you and do a little bit of a memorial for him and go from there. So,
Rosie, grab that microphone and we'll say bye to you. Rosie is running in a marathon here this afternoon, and they start at noon, so she's got to go get her togs on.
That's right.
Rosie, I'll see you back in a week.
I'll be back, and I hope we have as good a guest as we. This has been a fantastic program today.
It's impossible to top Jesse Klein.
Well,
I mean,
he is a talker.
All we can do is try.
Find things that I like to talk about, and I won't give up the microphone. So thanks, Rose.
Okay,
bye. Rosie. Bye-bye. Everybody wave bye to Rosie, and thorns and all, Rosie, come on back. What an incredible human being.
My great aunt, I have to admit, I tell everyone that was Rose Klein right there. So they may know her as Rosie Blanc for all these years, but that was my grandfather's little sister. So
is that the way it hooks up?
Yep, she's my great aunt. So that's my dad's aunt. But they were Rosie was quite a bit younger than the rest of the Kleins, so but everybody made it. I think almost all of them made it into their 90s. So
pretty good genes that you guys.
Not bad. I think that came from the Ehrlich side of the family, not the Klein side. But that's a story for a different day. So, but
Jesse, when you were talking about the equipment that you bought and nobody being in a dangerous place because you had it fixed to push buttons instead of being out there with flares and stuff. Being familiar with that side of it, because working speedways for years and years.
Sure.
Speedways run through the summer, so there's always, we'll fire fireworks for I don't know what reason, but always around the 4th, there's big fireworks stuff. In fact, I don't know where we'll spend a second on this. I was on the stage at State Fair Speedway, and the tent was right beside the stage that year that that infamous year that the tent caught fire and blew the whole show up inside the tent and killed the guy that was. So there's a lot of. So where I was really going with that is I've been called several times to be the guy. Hey, we need somebody to help. Come go. So I would be the guy that would be handing stuff to you and stuff like that.
Yeah, see, and we don't operate in that world anymore. The last couple major incidents that you see, even when we were getting our training, is that there'd be like a firebox that has all of these shells inside of it. The lid opens, a new shell comes out. It goes for the guys that light them by flares and things like that. Our equipment, we kind of changed the. Well, we didn't do anything that the rest of the industry wasn't doing, but we did it differently for us. So all of our shells are individually dropped, wired, all set up. Nobody touches anything. We walk away from the fire ground, punch a button on a remote control, and things start to go off, and no one has to go inside there. So there's none of that transfer stuff. So we just have to be careful in the loading process and the wiring process. And we just drop a shell down inside of a mortar or a tube, and then tie off wiring, hooks up to our little wireless remotes, these little packs that have 18 channels on them, and then we just have to keep track of it. It's like a spreadsheet. It's like a computer program. You can sync it to music. You can do stuff. We don't even get that involved in it. We like to have a little bit more control and do it the way that we want to do it. So it's we just like someone likes to punch the buttons. There's always some guy that gets to punch all the buttons and have all the fun. And each year, that's what's the build up for. And
the big payoff on that, on the way you've got it done, is to the crowd. Because your continuity is unbroken.
We speed up, slow down, absolutely.
I say the people I've assisted and stuff, we're doing flares and Benny, go get me such and such. This isn't working. And so you're 5 minutes between firing sometimes, and you guys are just boom.
Yeah,
boom,
we don't. We're really trying to. We know how long the show should be. You kind of have an attention span for kids looking up in the air. You got 20 minutes or less. I really. We just like to be able to punch the buttons, and if we feel like it's going slow, we can speed up. If we're going too fast, we can slow down. It's just a little manual adjustment that the shooter, what we call the guy that's in control of it, he's just got a basically a remote control in his hand that he's punching buttons on, and it's so neat because he can just stand there and stare at the sky and see what it looks like, and he gets to control it. So none of us are artists, but it's probably the closest thing that you get to being one, because we really get to, there's some planning that goes into just getting stuff in there, but really it's the chaos and the excitement of doing it. When we do it, each guy that gets to be the shooter, that's the funnest 20 minutes they're gonna have. It's also some of the most stressful. We've had problems. We've had things that didn't work. We've had to manually fire a show by punching a bunch of buttons instead of just being able to click one 200 times. There's stuff that happens, but we've learned all that. I think we've gotten good. And if the new crew that comes in or the new group that does it, there'll be enough of us around that will still help to make things work. But there's going to be a new generation of people, and I think they're going to have to come, because I don't think I'm going to make it to 20. So
we're going to pause one more time. We'll be back for Jesse to put a wrap on when and where right after this.
You're listening to Rose and Ben on KALV.
Beatles New Beginnings Nursing Center is proud to offer comprehensive care solutions for those who matter most. From rehabilitation and palliative care to skilled nursing and long-term care, Beatles is committed to providing comfort, dignity, and peace of mind. Now, with a second location, the Beatles family continues its long-standing tradition of excellence, serving the people of Northwest Oklahoma with the same compassion and dedication they've been known for. Come by and see them at 720 North Share Boulevard in Alva. Beatles New Beginnings Nursing Center, your care, your comfort, your community.
This is Rose and Ben on KALV.
Ben Buckland, Rosie and Ben show. It's 11 o'clock it's not 11 o'clock right now. It's 11 o'clock every Thursday when we take the helm of the most mature, latest morning show in the free world. Our guest today, wrapping it up, we've had several guests, but Jesse Klein, going to blow things up.
4th of July, Friday night, 10 o'clock, give or take. I like for it to get dark. Alva Rec Park. You won't be able to come into the center. You won't be able to go to the center area, but there's a lot of parking around there outside. Go to the fairgrounds parking lot. Look to the north. Go to the Votech parking lot. Look to the west. There is some limited parking along Thunderbird Road. I know it's actually kind of a cool problem. A couple years ago, it took 30 minutes for someone to leave and get back to the boulevard. And that's the coolest problem that a fireworks guy could ever have, because that just meant there were so many people there. Try to plan for it a little bit, go from there. But yeah, come out. It's safe, it's fun. It'll be as good a show as we always do. We're operating within budgets, but we're not going to let it fall back to anything. And we like to give you 15 to 20 minutes of just solid excitement and go from there.
Excellent. So Tacoma on the 3rd, Alva on the 4th, Carmen on the 5th. What a heck of a 4th of July kind of a thing. And today is, we didn't get any mail today. What is it, Juneteenth?
June 19th.
June 19th, okay.
All good guys, both the Tacoma show, Carmen show, know those guys, work around those guys, get similar fireworks. It's amazing to be able to have 3 days in a row every year.
Oh, and big-time stuff.
Yeah.
Big-time stuff.
Love each one of those groups, and they're a bunch of good firefighters and volunteers and all that for each one of them.
You bet. Thank you for joining us. Remember to join Joe tomorrow morning for Eggs and Issues with our legislators right here on KALV, 1430 AM, 99.5 FM in Alva, 97.1 FM in Winoka. All around the world on KALVradio.com and railroaders.tv. Rosie and Ben, have a good rest of the day. Everybody.
You've been listening to Rose and Ben, Unplugged and Unhinged. Now we breathe a big sigh of relief and switch you back to regular programming on KALV.